Now I'm going to just introduce Duncan. So one of our practices at Fibromyalgia London Group is to ask for members' direction and recommendations of speakers and topics they would like to hear or learn about. Such is the case with laughter yoga. I personally am curious to learn about this form of therapy, which many people with chronic illnesses use as a distraction from pain or mental health issues. I would like to introduce to you Duncan Cook from Toronto. He is a certified master trainer with Laughter Yoga International. Duncan trained under Dr. Madan and Madhav Kataria in Toronto in 2005, advancing to the level of laughter yoga teacher in 2006 and earning certification at the level of master trainer for Canada in April of 2016. Duncan is also a recipient of the Laughter Yoga Ambassador Award for contributions in service. In 2013, he coordinated the Laughter Yoga Conference in Toronto. Partnered with his wife, Susan Craig Cook, Duncan presents training programs and laughter teacher courses. Duncan's main objective is to continue the growth and development of laughter yoga in Canada. So please join me in welcoming Duncan to our virtual meeting today.
Hey.
So welcome and over to you.
Okay, thank you, Jacqueline.
You're welcome.
Wow, I'm using a new computer today. Well, it's a different computer. I've had this computer for quite some time. My wife uses this computer. It's got a higher definition camera, and I'm just getting a view of my I'm just getting a view of myself that I never had before.
You look great. You look great. Very young looking too.
Oh, very young looking. Great, thank you. I just celebrated 59 years in January 2nd, so that's my age, 59 years. And before anybody asks, I'm from Scotland. Some people detect an accent, and so the accent is Scottish. I've been in Canada for 30 years now. And so, okay, so I'm here today, and thank you for the invitation to speak and hopefully share some laughter with the group that is assembled here today. And on the strength of the fact that I've had some experience and training in this form of laughter yoga, and some people have heard of it, some people are curious about it, and so this is a good opportunity at the public level for people to get information. What is it, and how can you use it? Yeah. First of all, I want to explain a little bit of how it came into being, how laughter yoga came into being. It came out of India. What happened in 1995, a medical doctor, Madan Kataria, he was researching, and he was actually, I think he was an editor of a health magazine, a medical doctor, but on the side he's doing editing with a health magazine and doing some research on the health benefits of laughter. You know, like laughter, the best medicine. And so he had this idea, well, okay, well, let's put this to the test. If it's so good, then let's start a laughter club. Okay. That was his that was his great idea. Let's start a laughter club. So how he went about that is early in the morning, he got up, he got his wife out of bed, the two of them went out into the park. And in India, when people are doing their exercises, they congregate in the parks, yeah, before the sun comes up, gets too hot, and it's so he knew that if he went out into the parks, he would find some people to join him and tell some jokes and get some laughter happening. So that's what he did. He went out into the park. He's asking lots of people if they'd like to if they'd like to join him in this laughter club that he wanted to form. And a lot of people were saying, no, not me, try someone else, you know, whatever, yeah. But he eventually got 3 people, and so along with himself and his wife, there were 5 people that decided, okay, we're going to stand in a group here, we're going to tell some jokes, we're going to get a good laugh. If nothing else, we'll get a good laugh. And so that's what they did. And they persisted in this, and day by day, he's going out into the park and the group is meeting and they're having lots of laughter with the joke telling, and by more and more people are joining in. They're hearing this laughter and they're coming over, and like everybody has a joke to tell. So that was it. But what happened after 2 weeks? After 2 weeks, what happened was they ran out of jokes. They ran out of good jokes. And the jokes that were coming were hurtful, negative, you know, like kind of thing people don't really want to hear, you know. And so people are getting angry about this, and they're saying, okay, this isn't working, let's stop this laughter club. And at that point, he says, no, we're not going to stop the laughter club, but we'll come back tomorrow, we'll do something different, okay? At that point in time, he didn't know exactly what it was that he was going to do, but he went home, he looked at his books and manuals, and he was racking his brain and his wife, and it's like, what are we going to do? We don't know how to, but what he found something in a book somewhere that told him that the body does not distinguish between real or fake laughter. So that's a key component in the development of what became known as laughter yoga. He found this information: the body does not differentiate between real laughter and fake laughter. And so he went back to the park the next day, and everybody's assembled, and by this time there's maybe around 50 people, and they're all waiting for, like, what are we going to do, you know? He says, okay, so jokes, no more jokes. The jokes aren't working. We're going to do a different technique. We're just going to laugh. And so everybody's saying, what do you mean we're just going to laugh? He says, well, do you remember when we were children in the schoolyard and we're out in recess and we're playing and we're having fun and there's so much laughter? And they says, yeah. He says, well, that's what we're going to do. We're just going to laugh for no reason. And so that was the breakthrough. That was the breakthrough that became known as the laughing clubs of India. From that, people started to do their own laughter clubs, and very quickly throughout India, more and more people were getting involved in starting a laughter club, laughing for no reason, laughing for health and wellness, laughing for the benefits of laughter. And so it was his wife Madhuri being a yoga instructor, yoga teacher, noticed, and the two of them noticed, okay, there's a similarity in when we're laughing, we're breathing, yeah? And when we're breathing, we're exhaling. When we're laughing, it's a ha 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 ha. Okay, and it's an extension of the breath. And there's a part in yoga that has pranayama, the energy of the breath. And so they recognized that there was a similarity between laughter and pranayama. And so they started bringing in pranayama exercises. And so that's when it became known as laughter yoga. So we have laughter on one side and the breathing on the other side, and we get a balance. We get a balance between the stimulation of the laughter and the soothing, calming effect of the breathing. Okay. And so what we do in a laughter yoga session is we're balancing the energy of laughter and the energy of breathing. Yeah. And so we get this balance. If you imagine yourself and you're in your car, you have an accelerator, and you know how to use the accelerator, but you also have to know how to use the brake. Otherwise, the first corner, you're going to crash, yeah? So it's a balance. It's a balance between the stimulation and the calming, yeah? And that's probably the best way I can describe it. So what I'm suggesting is that I'm gonna gradually go through some steps and stages and get you a little bit acclimatized, customized to this new idea. And I'm saying new because it's been around for what, almost 30 years now, but there's still people that don't quite understand, or they're completely unaware of laughter yoga as a practice for health and wellness. Okay, so I'm going to come back to Jacqueline, and Jacqueline, if you're willing, you could allow everybody to unmute, because when we laugh together in a group, then the laughter from each individual comes together like a chorus, like a choir. Okay, so if you just give them permission to unmute.
Yeah, go ahead and unmute.
And okay, so the first thing is we all know how to laugh, yeah? We all know how, and there's obviously times when we don't feel like laughing. But if we bring our attention to the fact, well, I'm going to make the decision here and now in this moment that I'm going to give it my best shot. I might not be feeling up to it right now, but at least I'm going to give it my best shot, okay? And I'm not here to judge anybody, right? We don't we don't we don't have fail, okay? But, so let's just start. Breathe. First of all, we're going to breathe, okay? Always remember to breathe. Come back to the breath. Come back to breathing, yeah? And as we go through these exercises, you're going to find some similarity with other techniques that we use for health and wellness with energy. Okay, so reach out your hands and clench your hands and come in. And as you come in, breathe in through the nose. Fill the lungs, hold it. 3, 2, and exhale. Okay, so it's like a okay, and you can bring a smile. You're allowed to bring a smile. Yeah. Okay. Right. So let's try it again. Breathe in. And then exhale. Do it one more time. Right. And you can probably feel your whole body starting to relax. Okay, tight, and then relax, exhale. Okay, okay, I couldn't hold it. Okay, so that now we're going to breathe in, hold it, and then just exhale with an audible laugh. Okay, ha 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 ha. So let's try this a few times. So now we're starting to bring laughter, the sound of laughter into our practice here. Okay? And breathe. Remember the breathing, okay? Always remember the breathing. Okay, ready? Right, clench it, clench. Breathe in. Hold it, and laugh it out. So yeah, I like that. I can hear it. So we're releasing through laughter. Yeah, we've got all this energy. And okay, so it doesn't need to be real laughter. It could be pretend laughter. And if you're a good actor, you can go far in the business of laughter yoga. You can go right all the way to the top. Actually, Madan Kataria, when he studied in university, he took, I think it was amateur dramatics, theatre. So he brings a lot of playfulness, a lot of acting technique. And so we use some of those in laughter yoga just to help us to get through this barrier that somehow we have this mindset that there needs to be a reason to laugh. There needs to be something funny happening. There needs to be a joke. There needs to be something that will trigger our laughter. And so what we do is we put that to the side and we just concentrate on developing our own sense of laughter. Yeah. And along with that comes a sense of humor. You know, you don't need to have a sense of humor to practice laughter yoga, but it comes along with the practice. Okay. And so we begin to be more playful, more relaxed. And so this helps with alleviating stress, anxiety. And when we're more playful in life, more willing to move, more flexible, then life becomes easier, okay? As far as pain management goes, there's certain chemicals in the body that are triggered to release when there's laughter in the body. The body generates the laughter, okay? Laughter is a body, it's created by the body, the voice box, all of that. So as we go in and learn more and more about laughter yoga, we find more and more benefits. And so my only hope for everybody here today is to allow yourself to enjoy what we're doing, relax. If you find it strenuous, you can raise your hand, you can ask questions, and I'm here to help you get beyond this, whatever barrier it is that we have in our lives that prevents us from laughing freely and openly, just from the goodness of our own self as beings. Yeah? Does that make sense? Is there any questions so far? I'm willing to take my first question, because little breaks are good. Anybody got their hand up?
I've got one.
You got a question.
What is the I can see how the laughter yoga and the technique is very attuned to breathing. That whole even for calming yourself down, it's connected to the structure of it. Like, is it just informally getting together and just, you know, how do you start it? What's that like? Could you explain?
How to start a laughter session? How to, like, there is a process. There's training that's involved in laughter yoga. And what happened is people were learning and coming up with ideas, but there was a structured session that came into being. And generally what we'll do in a laughter session is we'll do some warm-ups. Like what I'm doing right now, we're doing warm-ups. We're relaxing the body, okay? So we'll start maybe with some breathing exercises, and then we'll do some clapping. That helps to move the energy in the body and to stimulate energy to warm up the body, okay? We have a laughter mantra. It goes ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Okay. Okay.
Start with that laugh and end up laughing.
Yeah. So let's try that all together, okay? And it's important. Okay, so when we're using our hands, when you think about children, okay, that they're using their open fingers technique, yeah? And what happens here when we do it that way, then we have acupressure points on the hands all over the body, but particularly on the hands with the fingers, when we have the open hand technique, it's stimulating those acupressure points, okay? So let's do it, okay? And it's a rhythmic motion. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Yeah, keep going. Ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha. Okay, that stimulates. Now, when we're doing it together in a group, then we're supporting everyone. We're supporting each other, okay? So what happens is eye contact. We encourage good eye contact, yeah? So in a group session, the dynamic is we're moving around the room, ho, ho, ha, 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 making good eye contact, yeah? And that stimulates each other. We're encouraging each other, okay? Supporting each other. And so that's, that's a laughter mantra. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ha, ha. Okay? So we'll do that, and then we'll say, okay, everybody, let's breathe, okay? And so generally what we'll do is we'll reach our hands up, take a deep breath in, and hold the breath, and then exhale. Okay. Now you can really feel your body start to relax, right? If you're doing this, okay, so let's see. Reach up, deep breath in through the nose. Hold it, and then exhale, relax. Allow your whole body to relax. And it's important in laughter yoga to actually use your capacity for sound, okay? Don't be polite and be quiet. Be like, let yourself hear your body, like breathing in, okay? And breathing out, okay? And so think about your body. Bring your attention to your body, yeah? Awareness of the body, how your body works. Okay, reconnect with your body. A lot of us are walking around with just in our head. You know, but if you actually really bring your attention to your body and how your body responds to, and now we're learning how to regulate our body energy. Yeah. Now we have autonomic nervous system. Okay, autonomic nervous system. You have sympathetic and parasympathetic, and so you have that fight or flight response. And a lot of us are in a lot of stress, and we're in the sympathetic response mode in the autonomic nervous system. And how you know that is when you get shortness of breath. Yeah, you get short of breath, your mind starts racing, panic. Okay, and that's the fight or flight response. Okay, and so we want to switch out of that and come back into like what we call parasympathetic response. And how we do that is through the breath. Okay, take a deep breath, slow down, and exhale. Okay, and that's how we regulate our autonomic nervous system. It's certainly in laughter yoga. There's other techniques, you know, but we also use laughter because laughter triggers those chemical responses as well. Okay. Oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin, the body produces those chemicals and they're there for us to use. And when we laugh, then it automatically triggers the release of those chemicals. Okay, so that's the basic science behind laughter yoga. When we're laughing, it triggers the response of certain neurotransmitters. When we do it as a practice on a daily basis or a weekly basis or a month, I was going to say monthly basis, but that's practically like, you know, you might as well try something else. You know, if you're only going to do it monthly, you might as well try something else.
Actually, Lucy had asked you that question. So I don't know if you, Lucy, if Duncan answered that for you. Her question was, could you elaborate on the physiology of laughter in the brain and some chemicals being released? So neurotransmitters, but I'm sorry?
Sorry, I didn't mean to say, I thought I was on mute.
Sorry. So Lucy, are you happy that you answered? Do you have a follow-up on that? Oh, she's muted herself. So I think that means it's fine. So continue,
fine.
Duncan.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just basically, you know, and if you want, don't take my word for it, you know, I'm just going by what somebody told me. If you want, there's research, talk to your doctor, ask your doctor. If your doctor doesn't know, ask your nurse. Ask the nurse. Nurses tend to be more up on, you know, what goes on. In fact, in the early days of laughter yoga development, there was lots of nurses who immediately saw the benefits of what we do in laughter yoga. There's one in particular, her name is Sue Carter and Sari. And what she noticed was the lymph system. The lymph system, especially, I think she was suffering from lymphedema. But anyway, to cut a long story short, she wanted to learn laughter because what happens with the diaphragm, when we're laughing, the diaphragm gets worked. And so that is a natural, what it does is it pumps the lymph fluid through the body. And then the lymph fluid is a filtration. It filters the toxins out of the body. Okay, the heart has its natural pump. It pumps the blood through the body. The lymph system doesn't have a pump, but when we're using the diaphragm, the movement of the diaphragm acts as a pump for the lymph system, and so it moves lymph through the body. Yeah, and that was an important discovery that not even Madan Kataria was aware of. It was a few years before Sue came on the scene and brought that to his awareness, and that's important, especially for people who have maybe had some surgery where some lymph nodes are no longer available to them. And so it's important to get that lymph moving, and laughter using the diaphragm, the movement of the diaphragm, that's very important. If nothing else, you'll clean your body if you develop laughter yoga practice technique. Yeah. Mhm. Okay.
Yeah, there's no more questions at the moment in chat.
Okay, so let's try a
Yeah.
few more exercises, yeah? Are you ready? Oh, one other thing. Remember
what
to
happened
drink
there?
water. Remember to drink water. If you have water available, to flush the system.
Oh, where can you get training for this?
I'll talk about that at the end.
Later, good. Great.
Yeah, there's lots of places you can train. You can train online, but we'll talk about that at the end, okay? I just want to give you some more experience. And hopefully, hopefully I'm not talking too much. My wife tells me I talk too much. If I'm talking too much, just stop me, ask a question or something, or say, just get on with it, okay? So just ease into this idea, laughter for health and wellness, okay? Is good for me, so why not, yeah? Here's another exercise, is using your hands, okay? This one's called Calcutta laughter. This is one of my favorites, okay? And it's really good for moving the body, and you can do this in bed, you know? We take laughter yoga into hospitals. You can do this in bed. Okay, so here's the action. You go forward. Ho, ho. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Ho, ho. And then ha, ha.
ha, ha.
That's it. Okay. And so it's a cycle of ho, ho, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha,
ha,
ho,
ho,
ha,
ha, ho,
ho,
ha,
ha,
ha, ha.
Yeah. Perfect. I'm teaching you right now. Maybe I can give you a certificate at the end. Okay, so yeah, this is another exercise, another technique. Ho, ho, ha, ha. Ho, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha. You can do a little dance. Yeah, you can do a little dance. Yeah. This is the kind of thing we do in laughter yoga. And when we have a group, we can dance with each other, you know. Ho, ho, ha. Body's getting movement. The diaphragm is moving. And you know, all of the responses that come from the body are being activated. Yeah, we're activating. So it's like we're able to, when we have this information that laughter is healthy and laughter is good for us, and if we have some basic understanding of how the body functions, we don't have to be scientists, we don't have to be doctors, but if we're given some information about how our body works and how we can regulate our body and how we can assist our body, then our health increases. Yeah. So knowledge is power. Now, don't take my word for it. Do your own research. There's lots of information, and not all of it is accurate. Yeah. Some.
Great.
But at the end of the day, trust your own intuition. Is this good for me? Do I feel good when I do laughter yoga?
Well, I can feel
Am
it
I
right
connecting?
now.
Am I connecting with others when I'm doing laughter yoga? That's the reason for the laughter clubs, to have groups of people connecting with each other. Yeah. And so laughter yoga developed from the laughter clubs. The laughter clubs became the practice of laughter yoga. And we practice laughter yoga when we go to a laughter club. Yeah. And so the next question is, well, where are these laughter clubs? And so obviously in the past 2 years with COVID, everything shut down. A lot of the laughter clubs went online. So, and they're still there. And so you can find a lot of laughter clubs online on Zoom, like where we are right now. Right now, somewhere in the world, there's a laughter club happening on Zoom right now. And so I can give you information to find these laughter clubs. And now that we're coming through COVID, I know that COVID is a reality. It's something that we're living with. It's right here, right now.
Yeah.
We're living with COVID. And so there's obviously self-care is important and susceptibility and all of that. But gradually laughter clubs are coming out into the open again. And so, so one of the things that I want to encourage people here today is if you like what we're doing here and you feel encouraged to say, hey, I want to start a laughter club, well, I'm here to help. I'm here to help. Okay. Now I live in Kitchener, and I know that not everybody lives in London, but I'm only 1 hour away from where you are. If you're in London, I'm just 1 hour from you.
We actually have someone who's also living in USA that's with us today.
Right.
So
right.
are there clubs in the USA as
Yes.
well?
Yes,
Okay.
there's people all around the world that are practicing laughter yoga. There's a whole network of people that are practicing laughter yoga all around the world.
So how's the best way for people to find a club? Is it through the website? Is it through Facebook?
Connect with someone. Yeah, go to the website, go to the main website, laughteryoga.org, and connect with people there. Even if you have to send an email to that website, and there's an email service, but you can also, once you get familiar with the website, it's a big website. Once you get familiar with it, you can locate people in your area. Yeah. And if you're having difficulty, then connect with them direct by email, say where you are, who you want to, you know, and somebody will respond to you. We'll figure out a way.
Now, some of our members are connected to other groups or medical groups, you know, go for therapy groups. If they wanted to connect with you to give a presentation, can they do that?
Absolutely, yes, I do that. Not too often. There's other people that do more than I do. I'm lazy. Plus, also, I have not a full-time job. I have a part-time job, and so there are times when I'm unavailable. You know, I like to make myself available, but there's also other people who are available. So if I can't do it, I can put you in touch with someone who can.
Okay. Well, they can start with you.
Yeah. Now here's another thing. Here's another thing. The person who started laughter yoga, he's very active in promoting laughter yoga throughout the world still, and he does online courses. One day, it turns out to be 6 one-hour courses is a basic introduction to laughter yoga, basic learning course.
Yeah.
And he does that online. So anybody that wanted to, okay, let's hear it from the, you know, the horse's mouth. Straight from the horse's mouth.
Yes.
You don't need to take my word for it. And again, on the main website, you'll find links to do that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I imagine that this kind of therapy is actually quite, I would see a lot of benefit with working with people who have had strokes, with brain diseases, you know, mental health issues.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, who was saying that? Who was that was speaking?
That's Jacqueline.
Jacqueline.
That's me.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now, I just want to address something here. Now, laughter therapy is a separate technique. Okay. Laughter yoga is not laughter therapy.
Okay.
And you can research laughter therapy. Laughter therapy is different. Laughter yoga is it's an exercise routine. It's a practice for health and wellness. And there are laughter therapists who are also familiar with laughter yoga, and they combine the two. Okay.
But what's the difference?
Well, therapy is a separate use. Okay, how it was explained to me, and I'm not a therapist, but I know psychotherapists. It's not, and it was a psychotherapist. It was a medical doctor psychotherapist that showed me laughter yoga, and told me if you wanna enjoy life, then learn laughter yoga. So basically, very roughly, therapy is, certainly psychotherapy is when we have a problem. Okay, I have a problem. I'm finding it hard to laugh. There might be something in my previous history. And so then a therapist would be able to help with that. Okay. You go to a laughter session, a laughter yoga club, they're not equipped to deal with that, okay?
Mhm.
But the good thing about that is it'll come up as, oh, there's a problem here. I'm finding it hard to, you know, fit in here, and, like, enjoy the laughing. So it can serve as a stimulus, as a response to, oh, there's something here that needs attention. And even though there's nobody in a laughter session there, and that's not the purpose of a laughter session, to do therapy, then there are
Okay.
therapists who can deal with that. Does that explain?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not therapists. Some people are, but certainly I'm not. But having said that, laughter is therapeutic. You know, it's naturally therapeutic. There's a lot of release that happens with laughter, you know, a lot of emotional release. And it's not uncommon for people to, for no reason, no apparent reason, just to have some tears rolling down, and it's a release. Generally, we just, hey, you know, it happens. It's not uncommon for people to come to a laughter club, be enjoying themselves, and then have this emotional release, tears flowing, and that's great. That's awesome, you know. And then we move on. We hold space for that, and then we move through.
Yeah.
That. Yeah.
Anyone has questions?
Well, that just ties in with Gabor's teachings about suppressed emotions.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And this
Oh,
yeah. So this would be really helpful.
I'll tell you a little bit about me, and I don't mind that this is being recorded, and you know, I have a history, and this, you know, I still have bouts of depression, you know, like energy that's pressed down, and depression, pressing that energy, holding that energy. And so when we're laughing, we're opening up to, like, releasing. Yeah.
Oh.
And so I had all kinds of ailments that sprang out of this suppressed energy, you know. Depression.
That would tie in with fibromyalgia then.
Potentially.
Suppressed emotions held in the body affects the muscles because it's all in there.
Yeah. And again, I'm not a professional. I'm not a medical professional.
Neither am I.
You need to. But yes,
What you're saying makes sense.
I see that, yeah. Held in the body. And Gabor Mate talks a lot about that. Holding this in the body. The body. And eventually the body says no.
Yes, when the body says
I'm not
no,
taking any more of this, and the body shuts down.
Oh, exactly.
So yeah, laughter is a wonderful release. Laughter yoga, certainly the laughter clubs. And you know, the only reason I'm talking so much about the laughter clubs is because that's where I really get the most benefits. You can do laughter yoga on your own. You can do it in the home. You can watch things online. You can buy books. You can, you know, but the greatest benefits come from, like, the participation in the group, you know, and the friendships that develop, you know.
Yeah.
Like, as human beings, we need connection, you know. When we don't have that connection with others, then, you know, we start to get a little bit sick.
A little bit, yeah.
And I think that showed up a lot in the COVID
A
time.
little bit sick, you should say a lot. Because when
why
you're
we-
by yourself, you get the
Disconnect.
depression and the pain and the whole thing. So when you're with a community of other people, it actually helps to release some of the pain too.
Absolutely. A shared experience.
Yeah.
So do you run a laughter club in Kitchener?
I'm trying. It's not as easy to find people. And one of the difficulties is, like, we all have our schedules, right? We're all active in some way. And to get everybody at the same day, at the same time, it's very difficult. And so for one person to be trying to get a laughter club together, it's very difficult. But if there's a few people and we can maybe make up like a schedule, a timetable, like this person's available this day, this person's available this day. So what I want to do is create a laughter yoga club hub. That's what I'm calling it.
So
It's
we
a
were
hub.
doing
It's a hub where people who are willing to learn laughter yoga to be laughter yoga leaders, we call them laughter yoga leaders, and they lead the session and they encourage other people to take on the roles and responsibilities to run the clubs. And so if we get some more people that are willing to take that role of like being the central point for people to form a club, then there's more opportunity for people to find laughter yoga, yeah, in the physical realm, like, you know, not on Zoom. You can find laughter yoga 24/7 on Zoom. But I mean real, like, you know, face to face, and we're coming into that now. Yeah.
Myra has put a comment here. We could make our own laughter yoga club if anybody is interested, and we have the resources for it.
I'll come and show you. Yes.
Very, very true. Very true. We can poll our community and find out. Yeah.
Now,
There's
while
an
we're on
interest.
this subject, I've been doing this for some time. I was in contact with a person in London. Her name was June Oost, and she had a laughter club in London, and this is going back to around 2012, so that's over 10 years ago. And she had a club and she ran it in one of the hospitals, and we lost contact. She had Parkinson's, and as time was going on, she was finding that the Parkinson's was becoming more prominent. And so she realized that she wasn't going to be able to do the laughter club. She was looking for other people to keep it going and having trouble with that. Anyway, we eventually lost touch. And with Jacqueline connecting with me again recently to come and do this talk, I was actually trying to reconnect with June, and I managed to find it's actually June passed away in 2019.
Oh, dear.
2019.
Sorry to hear that.
And so, yeah, and so her obituary spoke about the fact that she was in her retirement years. This is where she put a lot of her energy. And so she would do it on a weekly basis in one of the hospitals. They obviously had a room that was made available to them to do that in the hospital, and they would meet on a weekly basis. And Port Stanley, I did some trainings down in Port Stanley showing people how to do laughter yoga. And there was one time when June actually came down to Port Stanley and we all met up, and we have a social calendar within the laughter yoga organization. And so every May we have what we call World Laughter Day. And so it was World Laughter Day, I think it was 2012, that we all met up in Port Stanley. And that was fun. It was fun. You know, we don't always get time to meet up with each other, you know.
No.
And the years pass, some of us are no longer available. So it's important to have new people coming in that can learn laughter yoga, that can have it, hope it for others.
Duncan, when you do these laughter sessions, whether it's online or in person, how long are the sessions? Is it a half hour, 45 minutes? Or?
Okay, so a laughter session will take maybe 30 to 40 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we usually have the space for an hour. And in that hour, we'll assemble, you know, brief introduction. Hi, everybody. And we'll introduce ourselves, like, so nobody feels left out. Nobody's a stranger. Everybody's welcomed, and they get an opportunity. And, you know, the choice is everybody. Some people like to remain, you know, anonymous or make up some fictitious name. But, you know, the space
your laughter is contagious.
Yeah. And so, and then we start the laughter session, okay? And so there's a process, warm-ups, ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. There's exercises, there's 1 meter, there's all kinds of exercises that we've invented, and like aches and pains laughter, you know, moving there's ha, 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 ho, 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 ho. Argument laughter, ha, 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 argument laughter. All kinds of like playful, yeah?
Yeah.
And some of them, and obviously the laughter, it's to encourage sound, the vocal sound, okay, and the playfulness, and to be more lighthearted with each other, you know, to hold that space. That's laughter yoga, to hold the space for that to happen. And so that'll take, and then we'll have a laughter meditation at the end, okay? And we're going to do a little laughter meditation at the end here today, so we need to leave space for that because that's a different dynamic, okay?
I have your video lined up. Don't forget about that.
Oh yeah, let's take a break after spoken. So you got the video lined up, okay?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So everybody, we have a video available here for you. It's from 2012, I believe, or thereabouts. And so I'm gonna take a short break and allow Jacqueline to run the video. And this is with seniors that found laughter yoga and started their own laughter club.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Can everybody see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to play it.
Our community.
This is about as quiet as you'll hear this class get. Who knew there was a funny side to yoga? 72-year-old Jean Furby teaches laughter yoga, a revolutionary yet simplistic idea currently sweeping the world.
It's a very vigorous activity. It works your whole body, your internal organs get a workout, so you're getting a massage all through your intestines, all through your pancreas and your liver and your kidneys. Everything's getting a workout. All the breathing spaces are opening up. It's for pain relief.
Now, this well-being exercise is the brainchild of Dr. Madan Kataria, a physician from India. He launched the first laughter club in 1995 with a small group of people. And today, well, it's become a worldwide phenomenon with more than 6,000 social laughter clubs in about 60 countries.
So laughter itself is a profound exhalation. And what we do in laughter yoga is we work with breathing. We work with the lower breathing space, the middle breathing space, the upper breathing space. Ideally, I want people to begin to learn to breathe from the lower breathing space. Take a breath in. Hold it. And laugh it out.
Gene discovered laughter yoga 3 years ago after his wife Sarah had a stroke. They were taking a stroll through a park and stumbled across a laughter yoga class. They were invited to participate, and they saw the benefits right away.
After the thing was over, I felt so good. It was just an amazing experience. Sarah loved it. She was in her chair, and we were both laughing. The most we laughed in years, because we cried a lot back then. Oh no! I made a mistake!
Shortly after, Gene embarked on becoming a certified laughter yoga instructor. Now he's not only found a way to release his pain and depression, but share this profound concept of well-being with others.
Laughter meditation is different from any other kind of meditation that people typically do, because in laughter meditation, we simply laugh.
Laughter yoga combines unconditional laughter with yogic breathing. You don't rely on humor or jokes or comedy, you just chuckle, and it soon turns into real and contagious laughter.
I worked with some folks the other day that are all wheelchair bound, and they're not very vigorous. So I timed them, and they were able to laugh for 30 seconds before they wore out and just couldn't laugh anymore. But in laughter yoga, for people who have been taking it for a while, you develop stamina for laughing. You improve your breathing. You improve the tone of the muscles through your diaphragm. So we laugh sometimes for 5 to 10 minutes without stopping.
The concept of laughter yoga is based on scientific fact that the body can't differentiate between fake and real laughter. Apparently, one gets the same physiological and psychological benefits. In other words, laughter yoga invites you to fake it until it becomes real.
Excellent. Excellent, excellent.
Laughter yoga has really opened things up for me. It makes me feel good, and it's one of the best things that's happened to me in the last year. Laughter yoga makes it easier for me to deal with some of the little bumps that I come across in life.
Part of laughter yoga is childlike play, and we pretend and use our imaginations. Okay, ready? We're in a big hurry. Let's get there. Okay, here we go. Green light. Red light.
I started in September and was actually feeling a bit of anxiety and such, and so I wanted to go somewhere that would make me feel good and release, and and it did that instantly.
Oh, it's a tremendous release and relaxation, mainly.
It's so good for your spirit, your body, everything. I've been coming for a year now, and I do it twice a week, formally, and every day at home, and I like it so much I'm going to become a certified laughter yoga trainer.
This new wave of therapeutic exercise is becoming a popular form of health and wellness for all ages. But more and more seniors are discovering laughter yoga as a fun way to socialize and improve their overall mental and physical health. And for some, it's opening the door for a new career. Even at first glance, you can't help but smile. And by the end of the class, everyone's laughing without exception. Laughter yoga is so contagious that clubs are springing up just about everywhere. Now, here's some interesting facts about this howling exercise. Did you know that 10 minutes of laughter equates to 30 minutes on the treadmill? Or the fact that laughter lowers levels of cortisol in the body, and cortisol is known to suppress the immune system. Hey, and would you believe that 15 minutes of uninterrupted laughter equals the benefit of 2 hours sleep? 13 muscles are used to smile. We use 47 to frown. So, statistically, it's easier to smile than to frown. And you need to smile nearly 250,000 times to make one wrinkle. So don't be afraid to smile.
Okay, so that gave a little bit of information that corroborated. We're both on the same page. Like the instructor was talking about some of the benefits that we've already mentioned, you know. So it's good to get like another view, another perspective. One of the things I want to talk about, because I was looking at the chat box, and just to say more about the brain function. With my own experience, I was invited into, I live in Kitchener now, but I used to live in Guelph. And one of the hospitals, St. Joseph's Hospital in Guelph, they do a lot of work with seniors, and a lot of the challenges they have is with like hip fracture, breakages, stroke, and so I was invited in there on a cycle every 8 weeks for, I think it was about 3 years I was doing that. Every 8 weeks I would go in and talk about laughter yoga and and show them the ho ho ha 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 ha. And it was really beneficial. A lot of them were in wheelchairs, and they were able to their own ability. Some people had mobility issues with like stroke recovery, but even then the brain, because it's seeing, is sending the signal to the part that is having trouble. And so for rehabilitation, laughter yoga is useful in rehabilitation, especially for stroke, in regard to how the brain functions, and to make those synapse connections again, to have those firings in the brain. You know, when you're in a group and you see other people clapping your hand, the mirror neuron circuitry, mirror neurons copies what it sees in the brain. And so it's firing off those signals, okay? And even though they may not be able to quite make it, then at least it's like exercise, yeah? And in physiotherapy, like any broken or like rehabilitation is like, you know, for movement. And also people feel emotionally better after a good laugh, you know. What is it they say, the laughter is the best medicine. And so that's been used a lot, laughter the best medicine, and until I heard someone say, no, friendship is the best medicine. And I couldn't argue with that, because friendship for me has always been like the most important, making friends. But in laughter yoga, that's it, we're making friends through laughter. Yeah. I can show you lots of exercises, but what I would want you to do is do your own research. You know, the exercises serve the purpose to get you to a space where you enjoy your own laughter and laughter with others. And when I met June in Port Stanley in 2012, she said exactly the same thing. She says, okay, we've got all these exercises that we can do, but what's really crucial, what's really important is the connection that we make with each other. And then we make up our own sense of fun, sense of aliveness and enjoyment with each other. You know, you can make your own exercises. There's a person that I'm aware of, he came up with a whole catalogue of 250,000 exercises that you can do with laughter. And I think that misses the point. I think the point is the connections that we make with each other and using laughter and to find our own laughter. And once we find our own laughter, we don't need those exercises. We're enjoying life. And I think the most important thing that I learned from laughter yoga was to reconnect with my enjoyment of life. You know, we do these laughter sessions, and then afterwards we're in I will say a heightened state, you know, like a more joyful state and more adaptable to like what life brings to us, you know. And so if we have a joyful heart, then we could do a lot with that energy. That's what I find in laughter yoga. For me, that's the that's the treasure that's within laughter yoga, is to find those connections with ourselves, to reconnect with our own sense of who we are and what brings us our enjoyment. You know, like we'll go to a laughter session and then we'll really connect with what we enjoy. I see a question coming up. Oh, did it? Okay, I have a question. Can everybody see that in the chat box? I know Racy has laughter in his everyday talk. Did he work towards this, or did it happen naturally? It came about as a byproduct of the practice that my laughter started to come back into my natural, like everyday routine. You know, when I'm connecting with people and when I'm talking about something that I enjoy, the laughter comes naturally. Yeah. Yeah, it does. My laughter does interject my talking. I'm not ashamed of it. Yeah, and you know, like we all have challenges in life. You know, I still have bouts of depression. You know, where it's like, hey, I need to attend to something else here. You know, I have and now that I'm getting older, you know, I have other things that need attention too. But the laughter, to reconnect with my laughter, to have that as a source, as something I can always come back to, always connect with. And then it's like laughter clubs. It's not like we're demanding that you come every week or that you come, you know, diligently, and you know, but to know that it's there, to know that, to be comfortable with what goes on, you know. It's not like you're chasing you to pull you in, but it's there.
I'm just curious, do you work or are there groups that work with children? I'm just thinking children of trauma, whether, you know, just thinking, my mind went to like Ukraine and, you know, those types of situations. I mean, we, as Canada as a whole, has a lot of immigrant population that have come from war-torn countries or from who have experienced a trauma in many different ways. Is this used, laughter yoga used as a way to teach them, you know,
yes.
how to deal with their, like you have depression, for them to deal with their anxieties?
And not just in Canada, around the world. There's a person in the Philippines, and he's a social worker. He's laughter yoga, and he goes into like there's a lot of trauma there, but in certain trauma situations, he's sent in to alleviate the suffering, the trauma response, and he uses not just laughter yoga, but laughter yoga. He uses a lot of laughter yoga. Okay, so we're on the subject of trauma. Now, one of the things that I'm involved in currently is, I don't know if anybody remembers 1994 Rwanda genocide. That might ring a bell. I had just come to Canada. I was 29 years old at that point. In 1993, I came, and 1994 was the genocide that took place in Rwanda. Lots of trauma that came out of that. Eventually they restored some kind of level of peace. Some of the perpetrators were put into jail, into prison. A lot of people were able to escape from Rwanda. A lot of them came to Canada. Anyway, so what happened further on from that was in 2010, a friend of mine who I met through laughter yoga, a friend of mine, her name is Kimi Omara. She already knew about laughter yoga, but in her own personal life, she wanted to see the gorillas, you know, the silverback gorillas and so on. Her bucket list, she was going to go and see the silverback gorillas. Well, it just so happens that to do that, you have to go to Rwanda. And so she found herself in Rwanda, and as a therapist, and she is a therapist, by the way. And so she found herself in Rwanda, and people, she saw the trauma, and people were asking her, how could she help? And so she suggested laughter yoga. And so they started using laughter yoga, and they also started using a technique, clay therapy. And so they're using the clay and releasing all their stresses, all their emotions into the clay, yeah? And so between the laughter yoga and the clay therapy, they were finding that we're getting good results here. And so that has continued from 2010. In 2013, she was able to get some money together from, I think it might have been Rotary International. We were able to give funding for her to go over and train some of the people in Rwanda, like therapists, psychotherapists, teach them how to do laughter yoga. And so it started to, and so it's a healing process, healing from trauma, using laughter yoga and clay therapy, and obviously other therapies too. But those two particularly is what Kimi Omara brought to Rwanda from Australia.
I actually just went to Rwanda in October for 12 days. And yeah, it's a very special place, and there's a lot of lessons we, not just Canadians, but we as a world can learn about surviving that horrid kind of trauma and how you build a country up all together. There's a lot there to learn.
Yes, yes. And, you know, like trauma travels generation to generation.
Yeah.
So it's still there, you know, it's handed down. So there are things happen. Now, the latest update is the Rotary International. They were able to donate $30,000 from Australia to fund more trainings for laughter yoga in Rwanda. And that just got released, I think in January. Well, this is January, so it's right up to the minute. Kimi Omara, and that had been withheld because of COVID and things. There was all kinds of bureaucracy or whatever. Anyway, the funding had been withheld, but now it's gone cleared. And I think it might even have been December that they started doing trainings again with laughter yoga.
There's a question from Elaine in the chat. She said, I was also wondering about the laughter as you speak, and it's very contagious. After doing this a while, does the laughter ever show up when it's not appropriate?
Oh, when it's not appropriate. Well, when would that be? Laughter might always be appropriate, but I understand what you're saying. And so it's a level of awareness, and that's another reason why we have the laughter clubs, because sometimes it feels, and it might not be, and it might be interruptive for others, you know, who don't quite understand. Yeah. And so, yeah, there are times when laughter is not appropriate, you know.
That's what I was wondering about, if other people, you know, would not understand and maybe get offended.
Oh, yeah. People can easily become offended. Let me tell you a short story. And in the time that I was in Guelph, because that's where I was living before I came to Kitchener, in Guelph we had the Laughter Club successfully enough, where what we had done was we went to the senior centre, the Evergreen Centre in Guelph, and rented space on a weekly basis. And that is how we started the Laughter Club, and my wife and I, in Guelph. And that was 2006. Anyway, so we're doing that on a weekly basis, and someone from Fergus, like just north of Guelph, came down and says, okay, I want to learn laughter yoga, show me how it's done. So we did a training. She got a certificate, laughter yoga leader certified, and she went back to Fergus. And she did the same as us. She started renting space in the local community centre. But what happened was her laughter session coincided with the bridge club next door, in the room next door. And so very quickly, there were lots of complaints about the laughter club interrupting the peace and quiet. So in that instance, you know, it was like it was clashing with somebody else, you know. So there has to be some awareness of, yeah, no, it's not always, it can be interruptive. It can be interruptive for other people. It can be inappropriate. Now, having said that, there are some people who have been involved in laughter yoga leaders or laughter yoga teachers, and, you know, time goes on and they pass on. And at their funeral, they've made special requests for the group, for the congregation that materializes, to enjoy some laughter in her, you know, in memory of who she or he became with laughter yoga, you know. So again, it's like, you know, awareness. Is this appropriate? Is it going to disturb others? And I think that's the important thing. How are others going to perceive this, you know? So no, I don't laugh. I don't laugh every, you know, every sentence. No.
Ask a question or make a comment?
Yes.
Throughout this presentation, you've given us something, you know, so wonderful, and I haven't heard about the cost of it.
Oh, I didn't want to talk about that.
Is there a dollar sign attached, or is
yes, there is. Yeah. Okay. Like, oh, I want to show you my cup.
Really awesome today.
Okay, let me speak a little bit.
That's a very nice cup.
Let me speak a little bit about the dollar cost. Okay, Madame Kataria, and if you're going to leave here and look anywhere, the best place I can send you to first is the main website run by Madame Kataria. He does trainings. He does the 6-hour basic introduction, basic learning for 95, I think it's $95 US. He works in US, so that could be prohibitive for people to learn, to get, you know, to get a foundation on, yeah, this is laughter yoga, coming from Laughter Yoga International, how we prescribe laughter yoga, how we describe it. So that's you can do a 6-hour course for $95. And I might be wrong, it might be a little bit more now, but it's basically $95, and that's 6 hours, 6 1-hour sessions. It gets recorded on Zoom. If you miss one, then you can catch up, you know, they make it that way. You can also, if you like that and you want to go on to become what they call a certified laughter yoga leader, which gives you the authorization from Laughter Yoga International to be recognized as a trained laughter yoga facilitator. That is variable depending on who you train with. You can train with all kinds of people for that, but they've all been trained with Madame Kataria or through his organization. And that's that can range between 200 and no, nowadays it's about between 300 and 400, maybe 450. So it ranges, you know. For a person like yourself who's taking the money out of their own pocket, you know, you have to have disposable income in order to say, yeah, I can go for that, you know. Some companies, some businesses send their people to get training, and so that's paid for by the company.
Mhm.
Yeah. You may find yourself in that wonderful situation, and you may not. If you're taking it out of your own pocket, out of your own bank account, those are the kind of prices you're looking at, between 300 and 450 for what we call, and that's the standard. To get to the standard of a certified laughter yoga leader is that price. If you want a basic introduction, and that's useful because it's a $95, yeah, it's a lot easier and you get a lot of the information.
That's not a lot of money for such good medicine.
Yes.
No, and it's easily recouped. Anybody can easily recoup that money back, because the thing is, it's like, take this out into the world, right? When I did my training, I did my 2-day training in 2005 in Toronto, and it was at the end of the second day. It's only 2 days. You go on the Saturday, finish up on the Sunday, and at the end it's like, okay, if you've learned some things here, take what you've learned, and we recommend that you start a laughter club. If you want to develop this for yourself or for others, if you want to take this out into the world, start a laughter club, because then you're going to get the experience of how to lead others. Like, we can talk to you and tell you all the things, how to do it, but you actually have to do it, you know? And so that's the step. The next step is, okay, get some people together, start a laughter. And then that's when you really learn, you know, you hone your skills. You have to come out of yourself, because you're the presenter. You're presenting laughter yoga to the people that are coming to your laughter club. And so you have to be more outgoing, and you have to, and then you quickly find out what you need to what you need to learn. I need to learn my own laughter, you know. And so my laughter encourages other people's laughter, and other people, there's other people that their laughter is so sweet or so infectious, you know. We all have different, you know, our own unique laugh, you know.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. I think this, oh, sorry, Stephanie.
Can I just
Go ahead.
One more comment. I'm looking at my computer screen right now, and everybody they have their picture there, but we all have our names. And
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, and your name is Sue.
Oh, my name is Sue. A boy named Sue. You know that song.
Is that what is showing up for everybody else? Because I've got Sue here.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's hilarious. That's hilarious, because it doesn't show on my screen.
There, I changed it.
Thank you, Sue.
Yeah. Thank you, Sue. Sue is my wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I would use.
And I changed it just for you, Stephanie, to Duncan now. So there's no confusion. Myra has another question. I think you've answered it, but let's see. Does laughter yoga require accreditation and certificates, or can any medical professional add this to their practice without using the same jargon?
I'm reading that now.
Yeah, then there's also one from Joan there too.
Did I miss Joan? Oh,
Yes,
sorry,
you
Joan.
missed Joan.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to tell you. Okay, I'll speak to that. Accreditation and certificates. Good questions. Yeah, there is a certificate that's issued by Laughter Yoga International, and that's Madan Kataria, head office in Mumbai, India. Is it recognized anywhere else? I don't know. But what it does do is here in Ontario, for anybody to give some kind of guidance or like instruction as an instructor, a laughter yoga instructor needs to be covered by insurance, because that's the way it is. It's not that way in the Western world, in the Eastern world. but it is that way in the Western world, liability. So when you get trained and you have a certificate and you go and you want to start a laughter club, you have to find insurance, liability insurance. Now, one of the reasons I did the liability, one of the reasons that I started the laughter club in the senior center is because they provided an option where I could purchase liability insurance. Yeah. Now, nowadays, you can go to an insurance company, tell them that you've been certified as a laughter yoga instructor at the level of laughter leader. They know about it, and so they will issue you with a professional liability certificate at another cost, and that can be around $300 per year. And I believe they only do it by year. You know, you have to pay the full amount for the full year, and it can be around $300 for that. But then you're insured professional liability, which means when you go and you give instruction and leading a group, here's laughter yoga, we're a laughter club, we're doing laughter sessions, then at least you have, you're covered by liability. Does that answer that question? Is it accredited? No. Not that I know of. I don't know of any university or school that has come out and says, yeah, we're giving accreditation, we're backing this up 100%.
Is it like a regulated profession?
No.
In Ontario?
No. It's not a regulated profession in Ontario. No. And maybe it should be, but it's not.
So do you get a fee for going into a facility and starting and do training? And
you can do it out, yeah, you can do it out the goodness of your heart, but that my heart is only big enough, you know, and everybody has bills to pay. Okay, yes, you can ask for a fee, and then it becomes a negotiation. Now you can do it out, like here I am here with you today because I like you.
That's good to know.
Yeah, I do like you. When I heard like Fibromyalgia London Group, I says, that's wonderful. Yes, of course I'll come. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Now there are businesses that will take laughter yoga professionals because they have the certification. They'll bring them in. And then that fee is like, well, how much is how much do you have in your bank account? Like, you know, Toronto Dominion Bank, if they call you up and say, we want you to come in and do laughter yoga for, like you write your own ticket. Well, how much are you willing to pay?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. That's like a honorarium or a stipend or a speaker fee to come and, for their professional education days or their PD development days. Yeah.
Yes,
absolutely. And that's paid by the organization. And the same thing, like you were saying just now, I mean, there are a lot of our municipal governments run a lot of community centers, and they hire people like laughter yoga teachers or regular yoga, and they pay them to give free classes to the community. Yeah.
That's for a fee. Yeah. And there's a lot of that takes place already here in Ontario.
Yeah. Yeah.
What happened with lockdowns, then that put, you know, nobody was going anywhere. Yeah. And
as you mentioned earlier, there's a lot of access to free classes through the internet, through Laughter Yoga International. So that, you know, if money is an issue, there are ways around it by joining these free, you know, accessing these free services. If you want to become a certified trainer, it's not just like Duncan he's a master trainer. It's not an exorbitant fee. I agree with Stephanie on that. It's not an exorbitant fee, but I think it's a very nice skill to add, especially those of you who are in the healthcare medical sector, you know, and you're working with populations.
Yes.
I can even see this with the homeless, for those social workers that go around, you know, and meet one-on-one with people who are in, you know, tent camps and stuff like that. Just bringing some something like this can bring somebody some joy.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, Stephanie.
I'd like to add too, if you take a course and it costs you $100 or something like that, wouldn't it be wonderful if you could apply that to your when you send in your taxes or whatever?
Yeah.
Well, would that be
Tax deductible.
if you were, oh, that's a good question, which I don't know about. But if you decided, yes, I'm going to go into business as a laughter yoga instructor, then that would become tax deductible because you would.
Business is one thing, but just us, you know, individually, if we attended a course, now I could afford to pay for a course, but I'm thinking of those who can't. But if they tried to take a course and found out it was tax deductible, that would help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would help. Yes. And I don't know if that is, you would need to talk to a tax preparer about that. Is this?
I just think the foundation or whatever should look into that to make it more appealing for people to join.
Yes. Yes, yes.
I think Stephanie's going to sign up soon.
My husband keeps me laughing. He could be an instructor.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You can give back to community.
You know, I want to show you this book. This book. Can you read that?
Yeah, Laughter Yoga.
Laughter Yoga. It's a penguin paperback. Penguin. You can buy it in the store. Okay. Daily practices for health and happiness.
Yeah.
You can go. You can even go to the library. Kitchener Library has this.
Yeah.
Right. What's it? $22 Canadian. $22 Canadian. Could you use a good laugh? It gives you all kinds of information on laughter yoga. This in itself, you don't even need to think about, oh, maybe I should sign up for a course. Buy the book.
Yeah.
$22. Yeah. Hey, I want to start a laughter club. Get in touch with somebody like myself, like someone else that wants to get some laughter clubs happening. Okay. Sorry, go ahead, finish that, what you were going to say. Like, I'm perfectly happy to come down and show you how to do laughter yoga. To London. I have a brother-in-law that lives in London. We go there often. I'm only an hour away. Yeah, our membership comes from all over. You've got people on this call from Edmonton and BC, etc. But yeah, we just started an in-person sharing circle here in London for the people who in London who don't have access to computers, etc. So I will pass that on to the leader that's in charge of that, then invite you down to come do a session with them. So that would be good. We have members all across Canada. Yeah. All across Canada. Okay. And I wanted to, what did I want to say? Now I've lost my train of thought here.
You want to bring up Joan's question?
Yes, Joan has a question here. With the epidemic of anxiety in young people, are laughing groups operational in the Toronto area for this age group? So do you have laughter groups in Toronto that are for the youth? Are you aware of any? Currently, no. But I know somebody in Toronto who's laughter yoga trained and is very good at working with youth. Okay, so let me explain that a little bit more. Some people come and do laughter yoga. They find that they gravitate towards a certain demographic. It might be seniors. It might be people in care homes. It might be people who have had some kind of, and there's a special group in youth that connect very easily with, because youths have it's like a transition between childhood and adulthood, you know, and it's a difficult time. It was a difficult time for me, and it's not all adults that are able to really get in on that and be a resource, you know, but there are some who specialize in working with youth. And I know one in particular who is very good at it. She's a professor at it used to be called Ryerson University. Now it's Toronto Metropolitan University. And she is somebody, if somebody was looking for that, that is the person I would send them to.
that's the other thing about me is if there's somebody that can do something easier or better than me, then I'll send them in that direction.
What's her name?
Corey Tasmania. She's
How
on
do you-
Facebook. She's on Facebook. And
you-
many of us are on Facebook. That's how
Could
we
you-
connect with each other.
Could you put that in the chat so I could see the spelling?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Because the reason I ask is I have a grandson who suffered from anxiety attacks from the time he's 6, and he's it's caused a mental illness. So,
and you know, I'm not averse to going in and like working with people, but there are people who are really specifically skilled in certain areas. You know?
Duncan, while you're on the chat, could you put your email there so people? I put your phone number earlier.
Oh,
but
yeah.
You prefer them? That was what I was going to ask just now when I lost my train of thought. Would you prefer people to call or to email you?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So that's my email, and
okay.
Obviously, Jacqueline, you have my email
Too. Yeah.
Network, and you have my full, like, you know,
sharing it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. And now people on the recording, well, people listening to this recording would have it as well. So.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, absolutely. And also, I just want to stress the fact that, you know, for myself, I'm very happy to connect them with others, you know, in even different countries around the world. Laughter Yoga has representation in over 120 countries now.
Yeah.
It's worldwide. Certainly across Canada, lots in Quebec, lots here in Ontario, BC, all of that. Yeah. So
I should tell you, I was pleasantly surprised that I don't know if you know this lady or if she's a leader or I was actually someone from Australia that was going to join today's session from Sydney. Her name's Beth Wallace. I don't know if you've heard of her.
No, I have not. Beth Wallace. There's so many that I don't know. But
so I've got her information and I can pass on to you. But she'll get a copy of this recording. But I was surprised that, you know, she saw the ad. So on my info poster. So yeah,
that's awesome.
So it's always nice to know we are far reaching in that way. So yeah.
Absolutely. Definitely.
Okay. Well, it's past. Sorry, go ahead.
I do know a few people in Sydney that are involved in Laughter Yoga, but I don't know Beth. So that's great. You made a connection there. You've allowed to come. Yeah, good.
It is just a little past 2:30, so we should wrap this up. I do want to thank you very much for being here and spending the afternoon with us. I think you've given us a great insight into a tool we can all use. I think you've got some people interested in learning more about Laughter Yoga and getting involved or seeing how they can take what they've learned and introduce it and raise awareness of the benefits of Laughter Yoga. So I thank you, Duncan, for being here. Thank you, everybody, for coming on. If you have any questions or want to communicate further, Duncan will laugh his way with you. So
we're supposed to have a meditation at the end of this, right?
Oh, that's right. That's
Bonnie put that up.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay.
See, they won't let you go.
Okay. Yeah. And I promise I would do that. Okay. So let's just this will only take 5 minutes.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. I just want to explain the concept of laughter meditation in the way that it's taught in Laughter Yoga. And so when you think about other forms of meditation, it might be a focus. There's always some kind of a focus. It might be a focus on the breath and just bringing your attention to the breath and that's an important one. Or it could be a point of focus like a candle, like just whenever your mind wanders, bring your attention to the point of focus, okay? And so the mind is constantly wandering, wants to like do its thing, okay? So this is bringing the mind back into like, you know, restraint. Peace and quiet, okay? Because the mind gets very crazy very easily, okay? Especially nowadays. So meditation in whatever form is something to learn. And most often people learn mindful practice, mindfulness. That's the most common right now. Right now, mindfulness, being aware of the breath, the mind, and just having that focus, that bring your attention, no judgment, just bring your attention back to even the breathing. In laughter meditation, it's different, okay? Because in other forms of meditation, the mind gently, slowly starts to come to a gentle state of peace, yeah? Laughter meditation is more like a blast of energy. And then after the blast, there's a state of peace, emptiness, quietness, okay? Now, to describe that further, it's like a bomb going off. When a bomb goes off, immediately after the bomb goes off, there's complete silence. Even you don't even hear birds singing. Whenever a bomb goes off, there's complete silence. And so that's how laughter meditation works. We do laughing, and then after the laughter, there's a complete silence. There's a sense of peace. Okay, so I'm going to introduce you to this laughter meditation. So all we do is we laugh, yeah? And so the point of focus is to laugh. And it can be your own inner laugh, like it doesn't have to be out, audible in this state. It's encouraged so that you can get a sense of that, to get your own laughter happening. But all it is laughter. There's no discussion, there's no interruption. You might find that your laughter starts to peter out, and then you can just bring your attention to someone else's laughter, okay? So when we do it in a group, it's a group dynamic. And so the laughter is constant, okay? Some people their laughter might die down, and then someone else's laughter starts to build up, and then someone else's laughter. And so you get all this variety, and this is a laughter meditation, holding space for this laughter. And the only instruction is no chit chat, no idle gossip, no tapping your partner on the shoulder, trying to get their attention. Just bring your focus to the laughter, either your own laughter or someone else's laughter, but just to allow all of this laughter. And then as the laughter comes down, and the leader will bring the laughter down to a conclusion, and then there'll be a state of silence, peacefulness. Okay, so let's try it.
Unmute ourselves?
Unmute yourself, yeah. And everybody unmute. We might do two. I want you to get an experience of this, okay? And it might take a few times for you to get, oh, this is what we're doing, okay? Right. And I'm very willing to come back at another time, and it doesn't have to be in the Let's Talk series or Health Talk series. We can do this, yeah, to practice. Okay, so just bring your attention, okay, to yourself, and to still being aware of. Just allow yourself to bring any laughter that you have. And to just allow yourself to bring any laughter. Oh, yeah. Okay, we get some feedback sometimes when everybody is okay. So just start laughing. Just allow yourself gentle laugh. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Deep breath, deep breath. In through the nose. And see, that's it. That's laughter meditation. So that's it. That's laughter meditation. And however long you do it for, then that's you can build up to 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever.
How much weight can we lose?
Yeah, move around.
That's a question I was thinking of just now during the meditation.
That's some bounds.
Yeah, that's a good question. You need to ask Weight Watchers of Canada. Now, get in touch with Weight Watchers of Canada because they know about laughter yoga and they bring it in. They've done articles on laughter yoga, the benefits of laughter yoga, because not only do the people lose weight, yeah, and to be serious, you know, laughter, yes, it gives you a workout. It gives you a workout, but the good thing about laughter is it gives you an uplifted sense of self, yeah. And so you want to become more active, you want to become more outgoing, and that's where the real benefits come, you know, to reconnect with what brings us joy in life. And that might be jogging, it might be swimming, it might be whatever you can think of. I remember in the training that I went to in 2005, there was an older lady, she's an author, she's a writer, she had been experiencing writer's block. The very next day she came back and she reported back she'd been writing all night long. You know, it had broken that spell, that rut that we find ourselves in, you know. And so yeah, how much weight can you lose? Honestly, you know, so we're talking about calorie count, and really Weight Watchers of Canada, they might have some information that can help you with that.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Again, thank you very much, Duncan. And thank you everyone for joining us. I will send out the video shortly. Enjoy yourself and laugh your way through the rest of the afternoon. Bye now. Thank you again. Bye everyone. Bye.
Thank you everyone. Thank you.